Welcome back to my below zero, no damage run of Mina the Hollower. In the last video I cleared Coltrane Peak to get my 4th generator, so my next target will be Bone Beach, which you can access by heading just south of Ossex. Let's get started. This cave is the only part of the journey to Bone Beach that can cause problems, because the floor is invisible most of the time. There are coins scattered around that will clue you into where the floor is, but you'll otherwise have to watch for the raindrops. Wherever you see the ripples is safe to touch. I like to lure the snake to the left side of this room before going under the barrier. It'll always charge after resurfacing, and that gives you plenty of time to reach the exit, even if you don't want to fight it. In the 3rd room, I used recall to bypass the soldier after luring it to the left. Then I had plenty of time to get to the stairs. And in the last room, I'm going to drop another recall by the exit before I take on the enemy in here. Just sit in front of it and attack until you see him spinning the baton. Then move slightly down and you should dodge both the attack and the spinning ball. As soon as the enemy's down, you can take your time watching for raindrops until you reach the button, and then you can recall to the exit. Now that we're in the Sandfalls, the objective will be to destroy the minecarts that are blocking the exit. I won't return to the central hub until that job is complete, and I'm going to start by clearing the snakes on the left side, since they'll come into play later, and I prefer to aggro them one at a time if I can help it. Now I'm going to pick up this bomb and jump to the right through the moving platforms. This will unlock another bomb, which I'll take with me through the quicksand to destroy the first barrier. You may prefer to fight the enemies over there before you pick up the bomb, but if you do, I'd recommend luring them over to solid ground and sidestepping whenever they try to dive bomb you. Next, I'll use the same bomb to destroy a barrier to the left. Wait until a platform exits the tunnel and then grab it. You'll be waiting for 2 more platforms to appear afterwards. That'll be your target. Then you can ride the platforms through the tunnel that's revealed. For the next 2 carts, you have to wait until the bomb starts ticking before you throw it. Then we'll have another barrier down. I'm in the home stretch, so I took my time taking out the enemies over here, and then I destroyed the carts on the left for some extra bones. When you're ready, just grab the bomb, jump off the ledge, and run down to the final barrier where I took out the snakes earlier. With that, all the barriers are down, so I think I've earned another rest at the checkpoint, especially since there's a boss coming up. The major miner is actually pretty simple. If he flashes while winding up, he's going to generate lines on the ground that'll explode after a countdown. So just stay out of the area, and if there are any spots around the boss that are clear, feel free to attack. If he swings his pickaxe into the ground, be ready for a spread fire of rocks. If you jump over them, you can attack the boss after each swing. Just be careful, because when he's close to death, he'll lunge further forward during this attack. Lastly, if you see him stumble backwards, he's going for a whirlwind attack. He'll bounce around the room, tossing pickaxes whenever he hits a wall. If you can help it, just try to move to where the attack started. After that first shower of pickaxes, it should be safe. Throughout the fight, the miners around the arena will also toss pickaxes at you, so don't get tunnel vision on the boss. Worse yet, sometimes they'll throw a miner into the arena, and if the boss picks it up, he'll heal. So whenever this happens, make a beeline to the miner, burrow under it to pick it up, and then toss it at the boss. This will prevent the healing, and then you can continue as normal. We made it to Bone Beach, and I'm going to spend some time trying to get Fergus to move, because there's obviously a secret area behind him. Apparently healing him and then using the checkpoint wasn't enough, so I just moved on. There's a couple new mechanics in this area to watch out for. The golden hooks will allow you to long jump from them, which will even take you over walls at times. However, you can only hang from them for a limited amount of time. There are silver versions of the same mechanic that don't have this limitation. You can hold on to those as long as you'd like. You're also going to see these purple balls throughout the area, which will bounce you away if you attack them. Be very careful when you're fighting around them, because it's very easy to launch yourself into an attack without intending to. You can burrow under them to pick them up, and then throw them to get rid of them. It's also worth noting that if you find a way to jump on top of them, you can bounce off to do a long jump. The purple guys on the walls can be a pain, but you just have to remember to jump over the projectile whenever you see them flashing. In this room, I'm not even going to bother fighting it because the exit is wide open. Two things to note in this room. First, the eyeballs can be stunned if you hit them while they're facing you, but I actually prefer to just jump or burrow under them rather than deal with that. Second, when you're fighting the miners, be aware that you can deflect their pickaxes back to them. This is often easier than trying to pursue them through the incoming fire. The one thing I'll call out about the green skull is that if it does the jackhammer attack, burrowing won't save you. Just go around the enemy and wait for that attack to stop, because it'll be far more open for attacks when it does anything else in its arsenal. It'll be important later, so watch the timing between attacking this orb and when it springs back. If you hit it when it's returning, it'll keep flying back the other way. It's generally better to hit these eggs before they hatch. Just be careful, because when the adds come out, they have a brief period of invulnerability until they touch the floor. I told you before that the purple balls can bounce you up, and I'll be making use of that here. Just let this enemy open the way, and then you can use the hook to jump up to the exit. Here I'm going to make a brief detour to the mirror world once again. There isn't anything over there for me this time, but I'll open the pathway and then I'll go back to Bone Beach, because I'm close to a shortcut back to the checkpoint as is. In this room, be careful not to get crushed between the bones. And if you fight the enemies, try to do it on solid ground so that you can burrow if you need to. Watch out for the egg over here. If you don't have a sub-weapon that can handle it, jump over the hole and then back to lure it out. This next checkpoint will be a central hub for the next two excursions. We'll tackle the right side of the room first, and then the left to open the way forward. At this point, you'll want to generate a ball on the top conveyor and then bounce your way over to the ledge on the left of the switch. Then you can bounce to the top and open the first gate. When you're headed to the left, just be careful of the miners. Take out the bottom one first, sidestepping the pickaxes as needed, and then you'll have the space you need to deal with the top one. At the start of the elevator section, use the obstacles to block the incoming fire, and then focus on the other ads first. If you get an opening, go ahead and take out the shooter, but otherwise just leave yourself something to hide behind and wait it out. When you get to the worm, I prefer to lead it on a chase instead of fighting it. In the winning run, it was even pushed off of the platform entirely. When you get to these green orbs, remember to wait for them to spring back before you attack again. A little timing goes a long way here. Use the hooks to dodge the skull until you get to the larger platforms. Then you can stick around to fight if you'd like to, but otherwise you can burrow into the wooden platforms and just jump to the exit. Time to take on the Mind Mines, so here's the rundown of attacks. First, if you see the blue lines coming from an eyeball on the wall, it's going to fire a laser at you. If you're far away, you can simply sidestep it. Otherwise, try to burrow when you see the lines flashing. Second, if you see red lines instead, be on the lookout for a ring that will follow you around the arena. You can dispel them by burrowing in or out of the center of these rings, so try to take them out whenever you can. Third, be on the lookout for spikes coming out of the floor during the first phase. They're easily destroyed after they spawn, but you don't want them popping out from under you. Finally, you may see bone worms appearing on the boundary. Try to get in a direct line with them, and then just attack the head when they get close to destroy them. In the second phase, he won't call spikes or worms anymore, but he will get a few new attacks instead. First, he'll jump above you and try to crush you. When he lands, lasers will pop out of all the empty eye sockets. To dodge this, try to stay directly above or below the boss, and then burrow whenever he appears over you. After 3 attempts, he'll either summon attacks from the surrounding eyeballs, or he can force some of the walls to close. Dodge the eyeball attacks as normal, and otherwise watch for shaking walls and move away. This will be the best time to attack during the second phase, but make sure you watch for incoming fire before you commit to it. Lastly, instead of jumping, he might scoot along the ground, leaving a trail of slime behind him. Thankfully, the best place to be is still either directly above or directly below the boss. Just watch for which diagonal it's moving to and then run the other way. I usually don't even bother attacking during this one. I'd rather wait for when he's more open. The two main things to remember will be that you can destroy barriers that have the flashing lights on them, and that there will be a few times when you have to use hooks to bounce on the purple balls to proceed. Other than that, continue aiming for the power nodes and burrow past anything that gives you side-eye. To reach the final generator, we'll need to go to the Mirror World. From here, I think the fastest thing to do will be to travel back to Ossex and then use the portal in the Radiant Manor. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and then I'll be set up to take on the Astral Orrery in the next video. Until then, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before you go, but even if you don't, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you again for the next one.